Attachment theory suggests that our early relationships with our caregivers in childhood set the stage for how we build relationships in the future in adulthood. Children are taught, indirectly, that his or her emotions and needs will be recognized, that they will be supported and loved, and that people, in general, can be trusted. But, when a child perceives that his or her needs are not met, the child is not able to build a secure and stable bond with the caregivers. Are other people going to take care of me? Can I trust them? Can I rely on them? If the answers to these questions are yes, then the child is likely to have secure attachment. Characterized by predictable and supportive parents or caregivers who satisfy their child's needs and make them feel safe, seen, and known, children with secure attachment feel valued, safe to explore the world, and in control of their own lives. When faced with fear or threats, these children will return to their attachment figures for comfort and safety because they're secure in knowing that they will receive it. Children with this attachment style grow up to be trusting adults that desire to be near the people they are attached to, exhibit strong emotional regulation and ability to communicate their needs without fear, can bond and open up easily to people in their lives, feel like they have an impact on the world around them, and are comfortable with closeness and mutual dependency. Anxious-ambivalent attachment. Characterized by inconsistent caregivers whose behavior sends mixed signals, children with an anxious attachment style will occasionally get their needs met by caregivers, but at other times experience misattunement and emotional distance. When they are faced with fear or threats, they will reach out to their attachment figures in hopes of getting their needs met. However, they are never completely sure if they will be met each time, leading to a persistent feeling of fear or anxiety. These anxiously attached children grow up to be dependent adults who fear abandonment or emotional neglect and think highly of others but often suffer from low self-esteem. They will be highly attuned to their partner's needs, but are often insecure and anxious about their own worth in a relationship. If they perceive rejection from a loved one, or if their loved one fails to respond to their needs, the anxiously attached adult might blame themselves or label themselves as not being worthy of love. Furthermore, an anxious individual might be insecure about where they stand in a relationship and whether their partner loves them as much as they do in return. Consequently, the slightest disappointment or sign of rejection from the partner could be harmful to the already low self-esteem. As such, generally, adults with anxious attachment need constant reassurance that they are loved, worthy, and good enough. Their fear of abandonment or emotional neglect might also lead them to become desperate, clingy, and preoccupied with their relationships. Adults with an anxious attachment style are often afraid of or even incapable of being alone. They seek intimacy and closeness and are highly emotional and dependent on others. The presence of the loved one, however, appears to be a remedy for their strong emotional needs. Dismissive-avoidant attachment. Characterized by unavailable or neglectful caregivers who are often misattuned to the child's emotional needs, children with dismissive-avoidant attachment will initially attempt to reach out to their caregivers only to have those needs not be met or outwardly rebuffed. When the child expresses their emotional needs to caregivers, they will often be met with rejection, retreat, or lack of acknowledgement, which only seem to get more severe the more that the child reaches out for support. The attachment figures may tell the child that they need to toughen up, and disapprove of or not tolerate any emotional displays from their children, whether positive, such as happiness and joy and excitement, or negative, such as fear, sadness, and depression. After enough of this, the child eventually learns that their needs will not be met by their attachment figures and learns to fulfill their own needs. When they are faced with fear or threats, they will not reach out to their caregivers, since they've learned through repeated dismissal that this is an exercise in futility. These children grow up to be self-sufficient adults who do not want to rely on others. As a result of their caregivers displaying to them in childhood that people cannot be relied on, as adults, they believe that they do not require emotional intimacy from others. Although they will let others be around them, their interpersonal relationships tend to remain surface level, and they refuse to let people in. They tend to avoid strong displays of closeness and intimacy. As soon as things get serious, dismissive-avoidant adults are likely to close themselves off. Fearful-avoidant attachment. Characterized by unsafe and unpredictable caregivers that fill the child with fear, children with fearful-avoidant attachment are unable to adapt to their caregivers' inconsistent behavior. Consequently, these children exhibit a combination of dismissive and anxious traits. Due to the unpredictable nature of their attachment figures, the child is left not knowing when their caregiver will meet their needs, if at all. As a result, when these children are faced with fear or threats, they will display ambivalence in terms of reaching out to their caregivers. They can anxiously reach out for support and then quickly become dismissive when the support is given. These children grow up to be extremely untrusting adults who are inconsistent in terms of their attachment to other people. Their relationships are often characterized by fear, and these adults tend to either consciously or subconsciously seek out partners which will hurt them, in turn confirming their fear that nobody is to be trusted. Despite craving safe relationships, protection, and connection, they fear intimacy and proximity and expect to be disappointed or rejected. Thank you for clicking and watching through this whole video. Please leave any comments about how I can improve these videos for you in the future, or feel free to share your own experiences down below. I'll be reading all of the comments. Have a great rest of your day.